What is up, QCM? QCM back with you. And welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry for the inactivity that's been going on lately. I ended up having to record backing track and stuff for this one. So yeah, this will go behind more Greg Tech, I guess. And this is going to kind of serve as the update of sorts for what's been going on. Things will come and go from stuff that I've recorded previously that I'm working on getting done up. But I want to try to work my way through the backlog, so I figured I'd record some audio for Greg Tech. And then I'm also going to start scheduling some re-uploads of the old Crack in the Crackback stuff and stuff like that. So anyway, so here's kind of like the basic gist of what's been going on. I'm going to stream later, probably even later today. I'm recording this on the 4th of March. I'm gonna be streaming, or at least recording, getting the new ship on STO and stuff like that. I finally completed an event so that I can claim the ship on there and whatever. But so in the meantime, I will talk a little bit about that, but I also want to talk about just in general the stuff that's been going on, and I'm not gonna mince words about it this time. I will not say some specifics because I want to protect people's privacy. But so anyway, here's the gist of what's been going on. I've been having physical health issues. I've been having mental health issues. If you hear purring and stuff in the microphone, my cat is on my lap right now. We had a acquaintance, well, for me an acquaintance, that stayed with us for a little while, and it did not go relatively well. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that, but I will say that that contributed to the reasons why, for my own mental health issues, I wasn't really making content at the time. And also, on top of that, there's been some stuff. I've been dealing with financial hardship stuff. I'm not gonna beat the bush about the fact that I think there's been a lot of bullshit going on with my third-party employer company with work, because they cut me off of workman's comp, and now I'm having to foot my own bill for taking care of my physical health, even though it's a work-related injury, and it's kind of really fucking stupid. I may end up having to do these in a saga of things I talk about. But first and foremost, let me address things kind of in the order that they happened in. So for those of you who aren't aware, last February, the end of last February of 2024, I sprain, whatever you want to call it. The two doctors couldn't agree between the two of them whether it was a strain or whether it was a sprain. The lumbar area of my back, and I was off until the middle of May with that. And although I was still feeling sore and feeling like I should kept getting like physical therapy and stuff, the doctor I was seeing at the time was basically like, you should be able to at least go back to work by now, and I can't see you for this anymore, because I had to go through like an urgent care clinic because I'm an idiot and I didn't have a primary care set up. I should have set one up then. I'm an idiot, I didn't. But I'll get to that. So they sent me back to work, and in August I was just doing a rudimentary everyday delivery at a store. For those of you not aware, my day job is a truck driver for Walmart, and I just turned around like to check what pallet the guy was pulling off the truck, and I put all my weight on the ball of my left foot, and that motion combined with that weight um, sprained what's called my plantar fascia, which is basically the entire tendon muscle system that spreads across the foot to control like your ability to like curl your toes and extend your feet and everything like that. Um, so that was fun. And I was getting seen until around Thanksgiving time for that. It was finally up to par again for that part of it. But unfortunately, during the PT for my foot, I re-injured my back, and now we're not even quite sure if it's like a herniated disc or whatnot. And I have to go through more physical therapy because I've only had a few visits before the workman's comp thing cut off. Because of course all this happened over like Christmas and stuff. So the workman's comp stuff got cut off. I've been struggling to like pay bills and get things to work financially. But on top of that, like because I only got like 6 visits in, and like 4 of those were just like heat treatments, ice treatments, e-stim stuff, that sort of stuff. Because they were worried if I have a herniated disc, they didn't want to push too hard to get me going on that. So now I've had to like struggle. I got a primary care, but they're not open until June. Like, luckily the place I got them with, like, they have a cancel list. So if anybody cancels, they'll call me and be like, "Hey, you can get it even sooner." But until then, I ended up, thankfully, one of the referrals that I got during my workman's comp stuff was able to switch it over to my normal insurance. So I was able to get in with spine doctors so that I could actually, like, get stuff looked at. But yeah, so it's been a rough little road with that. On top of that, there's been a lot of like me not feeling up to recording because I've been in a lot of pain. For those of you who haven't had spinal injuries, they're really nasty. Even on the good days, like it's hard for me to sleep. I honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd be so worried about keeping Maddie awake or waking her up from the dead of sleep, I would probably totally be streaming at like 2 or 3 in the morning, because I don't usually go to bed right now until 4:30 in the morning. And part of that is just because there's so much pain going on, it's hard for me to sleep. But also, like, lately I've had really bad headaches, and then I gotta go and ask the doctor one of these days about whether or not that's a side effect of some of the medication I'm on or whatever. But yeah, that's another thing, the medication I'm on. I think that is kind of part of it, because like for some reason when I take it, it gives me like brain fog a little bit, which is part of the reason why they tell you not to drive on muscle relaxers. Not that I'm driving anywhere. Oh yeah, that's another. The saga continues. Currently I'm carless, but I will get to that later. But so it's been rough to even like move around the house, to do general like housework or cook or what have you. It's been rough, having to walk over. There's a Safeway like half a mile or so from me, and even walking over there is like walking there. If I've got my little "this helps support your back" belt on, is tolerable although uncomfortable. But by the time I get there, it's excruciating. It really sucks. And because we're having to bus everywhere, that's just like, I just gotta grit and bear it, But I can tell you what, whenever I get home and I take that belt off, I feel so much pain, it's not even funny. But yeah, so it's also affected my ability to sit for long periods of time or to stand for long periods of time. So there's a lot of me getting up and down and up and down, that sort of thing. So I guess I'll just this is gonna be like a super cut. If I only did 10 minutes, that would be super fast acceleration of the video. So I guess I'll go into the mental health stuff a little bit. This kind of has to tie in with everything, though, so um, there's some things to bear in mind. There's a lot of tension and a lot of upsetness and a lot of feelings of betrayal and of um, getting undermined and stuff that I was struggling with. A friend of Maddie's came to stay with us, and things didn't go as much as we hoped. And the only reason we ended up doing it, well, the only reason I ended up agreeing to it in the first place was because I was worried for this person's well-being. And it turned out that things didn't go out according to plan, and eventually that person returned home, and I wish them the best. But the drain on my mental health that it caused, and my physical health to an extent, made things really difficult to like cope with life's troubles smacking us in the face. And of course it was over Thanksgiving and Christmas, and for those of you who don't know, in September my stepdad's mom died, and although I wasn't the closest to her, it was still hard. We were going over and seeing. She lived with my uncle on that side, so my dad's half brother. But as my mom always loved to say, there's no halves or steps in our family. Honestly, he treated me better than a lot of my other uncles on my mom's blood side or the adopted ones. We were trying to be there for them and stuff, and things were rough for sure. On top of that, my dad has a condition that he doesn't really like talking about. It's manageable, but I don't know if untreatable is the word I'm looking for. Uncurable. On top of that, he's probably of the worst health. And I think even he knows that as likelihoods go, he's most likely the next person in the family that will go, except for maybe his, I don't know if they're half brothers or not, but there is a couple members of the family, and one of them is, that have been kind of like pushed out, and one of them is really uncouth. I don't know even all the details anymore about what he does with his life now, but yeah. So aside from that person, then out of all the people in the family, Dad's like not doing well as far as that side of the family goes. So it's been rough, and now he lives on the opposite side of the state as me, so I don't get to see him all that much. I didn't get to see him when he came over the last time because Maddie and I came back down with a really bad flu. Like it was bad. And so I didn't want to get him sick, so he didn't come over to see me, but he went to go look at my car, which is sitting at my aunt's house right now. And was like, yeah, no, it's not going to be worth fixing, so try to sell it and then go find another car. I think I've got that situation mostly sorted by now. I just have to like choose what I want and go forward with it. But yeah, so there's all that situation. What a mess. And then on top of that, around the holidays, I really struggle with the mental health issues with like losing my mom and stuff. For those of you who don't know, my mom passed away in 2021, 9 days after my birthday, which for those of you who don't know is in May. And it's been excruciatingly hard sometimes to come to terms with it. Even though I got a beautiful gift of closure that a lot of people don't get with those situations, it's still hard. She was kind of mom. I would call her every day, and we would talk about all sorts of stuff. you know, it's just not the same. Maybe directing that to other people. And maybe some of that has been held on to as hard as it has because I spent a lot of time. I've taken up recent like interest in stuff like doing out family tree stuff with the people who are still alive and able to like fill out information. You know, conglomerating family pictures, home videos, stuff like that. So maybe that doesn't always help with that, but it, you know, makes me feel better about myself doing it because I can preserve stuff for the next generation. But yeah, I'm also I don't really have it technically diagnosed. I have what quantifies to at the very least seasonal depression these days, if not some clinical depression issues. But generally, those are kind of my ups and my downs. I try to manage them the best I can. You know, don't worry, guys. I'm not like gonna have thoughts of hurting myself or anything like that. I don't have those problems anymore. But that can make it difficult to record because then I don't feel it in me to like come up with stuff. I've been having a lot of creative block issues, like trying to come up with talking points, and I've been trying to like get around to doing stuff that's multiplayer so that I have somebody to talk to. Maddie and I are probably going to give it a swing one of these days of doing recording Adventure Quest. We'll see what happens with that. She only just started playing a few days ago, so. But that'll be fun if we can do that. But yeah. I think that I'm gonna continue this in another video, so I will catch you guys later. Let's go and shoot on the way out. I'll see you. Peace!